Do you ever find yourself looking at a magic card and then you take a moment and you look at the artwork and you go, wait, is that what? Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles. Today, we are here to talk about a very interesting card. So, we'll start off with the card right away. Ancient Stone Idol. 10 colorless for a 12/12. It's got flash. It costs 1 less to cast for each attacking creature. It's got trample. And when it dies, you get to make a 6/12 colorless construct artifact creature token with trample. Now, on the surface of it, it's a pretty funky card, but you may be thinking to yourself, why do you even care about this? Well, first of all, let's talk about why I initially looked at this card, because it turns out there's way more to this card than I had first thought. I like this card just as the concept, like I played Dungeons and Dragons when I was younger, and it's a well-known fantasy trope of the gigantic like statues or gargoyles or whatever that come to life under certain conditions. Basically like guardian idols, right? Oh, you removed our treasure, Indiana Jones, and now the statues are gonna come and get you. I mean, I don't think that did they have any statues that attacked Indiana Jones? I don't know. But you get the idea. These kind of statues that are gonna come to life under different circumstances. And it's such a well-known thing, right? Like you'll be playing D&D and they'll describe you walking into a room with this massive, towering, imposing statue, and you're like, you just know. You're like, oh God, at some point this thing's gonna try and kill us. And it's like, how's it gonna happen? When's it gonna happen? When are those eyes gonna glow? And when are we gonna feel the earth start to rumble and shake as it comes lumbering towards us? The concept of gigantic animated guardian statues, to me, has always been really flavorful. They just seem so unstoppable. It's like a moving mountain. And I love gigantic creatures as well, right? Like I'm a huge fan of massive poundy creatures. That's why I love the Giganosaur. So this fits right up my alley. I looked at this card originally and I thought, hey, wait a minute. With the dying, create a 6/12 colorless construct artifact. I'm like, wasn't there a trap card that did that from like the Zendikar block? And it turns out there is. It was called Stone Idol Trap, and it too makes a 6/12 colorless construct artifact creature token. Now you lose the token at end of turn, but this thing also costs 1 less to cast for each attack creature. It's tied in to the same concept, and when you actually look at the artwork, you can see that the face in the artwork for Stone Idol Trap, and indeed on the construct token itself, are actually from the ancient stone idol. That's the same face, and tying it in that way is really cool to me. I thought that the Stone Idol Trap was a fairly weak card. I liked the concept of it, like an animated statue that's coming at you is always fun, and the idea of like a broken down like rubble head just animating and coming at you is also very cool. So basically, this ancient stone idol is the precursor to that. This is set on the same world of Zendikar. Now these are really cool, but that's just the tip of it, because when I started to look at the artwork, I was like, why does this feel familiar? Why am I staring at this going, I know who this is. How do I know who this is? And then it dawned on me. I was like, this is one of the merfolk gods. This is Cosi. So this statue is definitely from the world of Zendikar, clearly just tied into the world wake. We could tell that from the artwork. But this is the merfolk on Zendikar, worshipped 3 different gods. One of them was named Cosi, who was also worshipped by the core. Now, what the hell was the name of the game? Talib. There you go. The core called him Talib. So basically, for the Zendikar merfolk, which is who we're dealing with specifically here, Cosi was their trickster god. Now, the only people who worshipped him were like a secret cabal, like a little like enclave of tricksters, they were called, who were willing to break the normal rules for the benefit of their society overall. But most merfolk considered it taboo to place any offerings down for Cosi. Now, the crazy thing about the merfolk god Cosi, and all 3 of the merfolk gods actually, is they're all actually false gods. The merfolk didn't realize it, but they're actually worshipping the Eldrazi. So the ancient stone idol, this crazy statue here, is literally a carven image of a merfolk god that never existed and was the echo of a memory of the Eldrazi. If you guys don't know what the Eldrazi are, they're really cool villains for Magic. There are 3 known Eldrazi Titans. Now, there could be more. And they operate in a way completely different than anything else in Magic. That's actually where the colorless mana symbols come into play as well. That's a specifically Eldrazi thing. But the Eldrazi are colorless creatures. What's most interesting about them is that they exist outside the multiverse, which is a really weird way to look at things, because the multiverse is where all of Magic exists, all the planes and everything. The Eldrazi are the only thing that we know of that exists outside of the multiverse, and what they do is they reach a part of themselves into the multiverse, but they're never fully there. It's only a fragment of them, which is insane. Like a simple way to think, imagine the entire magical multiverse as an apartment building, and the Eldrazi are outside the apartment building. They're just big fat dudes outside the apartment building. Like, what's up, right? And then they're walking up and they're smashing their fist through a window. Smashing their fist through a window of an apartment. Now that apartment is like a plane, okay? So their fist going into that plane. Now you're inside the plane, and all you see and all you interact with is just their arm, right? It's not, you don't have the rest of them there. That's just that. But to you, it seems like the entirety of them. I mean, it kind of falls apart in that a normal human's not going to look at an arm through their window. But that's just to give you an idea of what it's like. It's just the arm busting through the window. So the rest of the Eldrazi is still outside of the multiverse. They don't exist inside the multiverse at all. And they're such alien creatures that it, like, their thoughts are so different than ours that there's no point in them even having thoughts in ways that we do. There's no point in trying to conceive of them thinking like the way that we think, or even like capable of the same kind of rational thought, to the point where and this part may be not 100% true. I haven't looked into this and researched this part. This is just what I vaguely remember, that Jace tried to connect with with Emrakul. Jace tried to connect up with Emrakul using his telepath powers, but he was only able to basically create a projection from his own mind that wasn't even Emrakul, that basically explained to him that it's too alien and they couldn't even connect. That's as far as I understand it. So there are these incredible alien beings that are just completely motivated by different things. We can't really fathom what they are, and it's just a portion of their essence that's physically manifested into the world, while the majority of them isn't even there. And they're manifested in massive form, right? Kozilek is a 10 casting cost 12/12, which I love as well. Both versions of Kozilek are 10 casting cost 12/12s, and so is the Ancient Stone Idol. It's also a 10 casting cost 12/12. So what happened was, basically, I'm just going to paint with broad strokes here without going into details as to who did what, but Planeswalkers, being the meddlers that they are both responsible for the entrapment of the Eldrazi on Zendikar, and not entrapment actually probably isn't the best word. Basically what they did was they put them into like kind of a dormant state. They were able to, through the portion that had physically manifested into Zendikar, they were able to latch onto that using magic and force them into a comatose kind of dormancy state. But that was undone by Planeswalkers, as well as the sheer power of the corruptive and reality warping nature of the Eldrazi. Like, Kozilek is actually called the Butcher of Truth because he reshapes reality. In his second incarnation, he has 2 gigantic black areas above him. These aren't physical objects. They look like physical objects above him. They're actually holes in space. So he distorts reality. All the Eldrazi do, but that's like, he distorts reality to a larger degree. Now, through this distortion of reality, the Eldrazi, like I said, they don't have the minds the same way we do. So it wasn't like they were able to reach out and intentionally corrupt people, but their influence was felt nonetheless. Rituals started to happen, and basically it destabilized what was going on with the Hedron alignment that was keeping the Eldrazi all locked in check. But this statue comes from a time before that, when the Eldrazi had been dormant for thousands and thousands of years. So these Eldrazi have been gone for thousands and thousands of years, but people still remember their presence to a degree. Obviously, they influence, when they show up on a world, they just obliterate life, right? And in crazy ways. They turn people into pure calcified bone. They turn people into like crystalline forms. They unmake them. Like, the Eldrazi kill in ways that would be very memorable, and they would certainly seem like gods as well. So thousands upon thousands of years later, they're a distant memory, and they're remembered as gods that are now venerated by different societies in different ways. Cosi, though, is not openly revered by the merfolk. But it's really cool the way this is represented. Like, you only find out about this in things like the flavor text. Donglair and Voker talking about what we knew as Emiria, Ula, and Cosi were not divine beings at all, but a cruel trick and a grave error. I absolutely love the flavor behind that. And they actually revisited it again when they went back to Zendikar, Battle for Zendikar. You have the Shrine of the Forsaken Gods. And there you can see them off on the right-hand side. You got Cosi. It's so cool. The flavor text says, the gods known to the merfolk as Ula, Emeria, and Cosi were nothing more than false memories of a monstrous trinity. The Eldrazi titans, Ulamog, Emrakul, and Kozilek. The flavor behind this card is so very, very cool. I love the idea of the statue and I love the fact that, like, when you look around the neck of Cosi, you can see right around here, his neck is like the top of Kozilek's head, right? It's so cool. I definitely enjoy the way that they've concepted this. I love the idea of guardian statues that come to life and smash along. I love the way they tied it into ancient the stone idol trap, I should say, by making the 6/12 colorless construct artifact creature token. The idea of just a gigantic stone head of a false god. Like, there's a heavy level of magic imbued into this. This is really, really flavorful. I genuinely enjoy it when cards go deeper than I was expecting. So, let us move on to a completely different subject, and that is a hilarious message that I got today. It was funny to me, at least. It was sent over by someone named Kitemer. All right? Now, he just joined my Patreon, and at first, I thought to myself, did he just join my Patreon to talk smack about me? Because the message starts off by talking about the first 4 videos I watched, I had to take a shower afterwards. What a creep. Look at this mess of an edit. What's with the bad jokes? Is this guy 12 or 64? I'm shortening it down. I'm not reading you guys the whole thing. Oh my god, the outros. I can't even. Have I found the pure cringe? A boot? Wait, I haven't played Magic since Kamigawa. Why do I keep watching this? Have I gone too deep? Yes, I have. Insert HP Lovecraft ending. You are glorious. Your passion for magic is something I wish I hadn't lost. Your analysis, interpretation on artwork and lore is nothing short of magical, and MTG doesn't deserve you to be so honest. So have $1 and keep edging it. Man, what a fan. I literally thought that was going to be like, it made me laugh afterwards. So, thanks for joining up, my man. I will see you in the Golden Lords of Purple. I appreciate the support and the hilarious message. Thanks, everyone, for coming out, and I'll see you later. Fucking fly.
Hi, I'm Solrex, and I photoshopped these wastes to become purple lands for us to tap for our magic. Because together, we are the 6th color of magic.